Sup, you chucklefucks? It's your boy, Dark Raku here with What If Issei was a gunslinger and a martial arts master. Part 10. Yes, it's 10. Now the sky is turning red and, the earth is shaking and, yada yada, tsunamis happening. Yes, it's basically the apocalypse now. Because I literally made a part 10. So yeah, the guy with the duck profile, or was it a goose? Was it a goose or duck? I can't fucking remember. I'm gonna just say duck. I don't care that much. The guy with the duck profile said that if I did part 10, the whole world would end. Which I am gonna do it. Because fuck this world. No, I'm just kidding. But, not the point. I'm going to part 10, but yeah. I'm also going to continue on with What If Issei had the spiral energy. Mostly, yeah, spiral? Spiral, yeah. Had the spiral energy. Now, I'm gonna continue with that one. Of course, I have an idea and how to go with it, but maybe not. You see here, Issei is not going to turn into a devil anytime soon. No, he's just gonna stay into a regular being human. Awesome. I did mention that, what's it called? Issei, he did kind of have flames, like, they're called Emerald Jade and Flames. Now, he's actually related to somewhat of a god, mostly his, like, great-grandfather. But, if you already know who it is, by just the name of, what's it called, Issei's Flames, just Jade slash Emerald Flames, then you know who exactly it is, and he might show up into the story later on. But that'll be later on. Awesome. I have an idea. I'm gonna have to kill a character in DxD, mostly in that story. Of course, it's probably a character that not many people really care about, or they probably do, but maybe. But not the point. I actually have an idea for that, and other than that, let me begin. This is What If. I'm just rambling on right now for what's it called, the other one. Maybe I have time to do that one, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but that's not the point here or there. Let me begin to this What If. I know people are just waiting because I literally threw them off into a cliffhanger on part 9, but yeah. Now we go into part 10. We go into mostly Issei right now. His body started glowing with a bluish and kind of a tealish green kind of color. This worked well. It was two very strong like energy signatures. There was like flames kind of going around him, being either blue or green. And this worked well. Mostly Grimjow is kind of like right now closing his eyes because it's kind of bright enough. And of course, like he is actually getting into his eyes, which is actually kind of annoying. Doesn't work well. He tries to not actually get annoyed by the form that Issei's in, which he is confused. He actually has never seen this form, but it's actually a form that, well, it's actually in one of the games called, well, if you have never played, what's it called, Bleach of Brave Souls, then you've probably never seen this form. And no, it's not pretty much a canon, what's it called, canon form, and what's it called, Bleach. I mean, not really, but yeah. But this is where, well, we'll see Grimjow is right now kind of seeing mostly the flames and the reals to calm down after a while. And what stands right now in front of Grimjow is, well, a person who has kind of a bluish, mostly like his hair is no longer brown, but a kind of like whitish bluish color. His eyes, well, one of them is now a red color, mostly one of his eyes being his left eye, it's red. And of course, instead of having like white near his eyes, they're black. But in the other eye, instead of having that whole, like, mostly kind of like hollow, well, mostly like that whole kind of, eye patch, is now a blue flaming eye patch, which it's not a eye patch, but it's just a blue flaming kind of like eye patch that doesn't really, it's not held by anything around his head, just a blue flaming just there. Of course, well, his hair, I did mention, was a bluish white. Of course, it kind of did grow a little bit longer, but not the point. It's not the same color as like Grimjow. Like Grimjow is like a bluish color, but of course this form is like a lightish, whitish, bluish color. It's kind of like snowy white. It kind of, okay, just think of this. It kind of looks like Esde's hair, mostly from Akame, Akame got killed. Or you can think of someone else, let's see. So pretty much it looks like this. So this is what Issei's form is. And yes, his hair, did I mean to say it got shorter? No, it got a lot longer. Mostly he does kind of, it looks like that. It just got extremely long. And yes, this is basically his new form. He got a Hogakyu in 2 different places, but not the point. When Issei is now in this form, he kind of just glances at Grimjaw, and Grimjaw widens his eyes. The power, the reality that Issei is just emitting from his body is amazing. Now, this is where Diedrich is right now widening his eyes. He has never seen this form, but this power, even though he cannot feel the reality or any of that, he can feel this aura, this strong, powerful energy aura. It can literally be rivaling that of Great Red. Either Great Red or even like Orphans, or probably just some of the top 10 strongest people in what's it called, like the world. Now, well, mostly the dimension they're from, but not this world. Probably not. But this is where, well, Issei is completely different. Now, this is where, well, Issei kind of just breathes out and then breathes in. He breathes out and in a couple of times until he points his gun right in front of Grimjaw, and this is where Grimjaw had no time to react. Well, he had zero time, and this is where, well, a blue blast almost shot him. But luckily, thanks to his form, he managed to dodge. But this is where, well, Grimjaw is right now winding his eyes. He jumped away from Issei, just to kind of keep a good distance away from Issei, seeing if his guns will kind of react to being a sniper rifle if he just stays far away. This is where, well, Issei kind of just didn't even glance at Grimjaw, and this is where Grimjaw is right now kind of saying, maybe he can't control that form too well. This is where, well, Issei points his gun right in front of himself. He shoots a blast, but the blast literally curves in an instant. Curves up, and then straight up, and then going down after a while and going straight for Grimjaw. Grimjaw widened his eyes, and this is where he tries to jump away. But when the bullet was about to hit the ground, it decides to curve and straight, just aiming straight towards what's it called, Grimjaw. Grimjaw widened his eyes. Are these bullets literally heat? What's it called? Kind of heat, kind of mostly like heat ray, kind of like bullets. Well, it's not entirely heat ray, but mostly Ryasu ray, which they actually follow Ryasu. Like anyone who kind of releases a bit of Ryasu, the bullets will literally follow anywhere towards until you get shot, or mostly the Ryasu, where it's supposed to just hit the Ryasu. But yeah. But this is where, well, Grimjaw gets annoyed, and this is where he throws a settle, mostly, not a settle, like a settle, straight towards the bullet, and when the bullet collides with the settle, it decides to just stop kind of following for, what's it called, Grimjaw. But of course, the bullet did kind of just explode with the settle, but not the point. This is where, well, Grimjaw widens his eyes and sees how Issei's power kind of increased. Now, of course, Issei isn't nowhere near Grimjaw, but Grimjaw now has to keep more of a distance and more, mostly having to, well, stay kind of far away from Issei. Well, not stay too far away, because he knows that Issei can always make his two guns become a sniper rifle and aim for his ass. This is where, well, mostly Issei is dangerous in, what's it called, well, long range, close range, and, well, he can probably be even closer range, but he doesn't know how dangerous will he be, because Issei has guns, and he would just be able to kick his ass if he gets closer. But this is where, well, before he can even thought of anything, Issei appears behind him in an instant. This is where Issei's one of his swords turned into a greenish teal kind of like laser sword. Well, not laser sword, an energy sword in an instant. And this is where he tries to cut at Grimjaw. Grimjaw managed to dodge, but a huge cut appeared right in his chest. Grimjaw widened his eyes. He just wasn't expecting that. This is where, well, he jumped away until he sent two settles at mostly Issei. Issei cuts him down with the sword, and this is where Issei's kind of just standing there. This is where, well, mostly Grimjaw kind of noticed that he shouldn't be running away. This is a kid. He's still inexperienced in that form, which Issei is inexperienced in that form. But Issei is just looking at Grimjaw and what his next move would do. Or what was his next move be. This is where Grimjaw rushes at Issei, but this is where he uses Sonita to appear behind Issei and trying to attack him with a kick until mostly Issei, what's it called, disappears from Grimjaw's sight by using Sonito and appearing behind him. And this is where, well, Issei kind of just says, mostly, Cerro Estrella. This is where, well, what this means is that Issei literally has multiple blue balls of Cerro next to him, but they're quite small, and this is where, well, or they're mostly, he calls them what's it called? He calls them El Chiquito Estrellas, and of course they're just small balls of blue Cerro, but of course they're actually kind of like mostly kind of shining bright, similar to that of like a star. And this is where, well, they all started shooting straight towards Grimjaw in rapid kind of like success. This is where, well, it's like pew 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 pew, like they're just keep shooting. Like there's over 50 over around Issei, and every time those 50 go, more 50 settles appear, like small settles start trying to attack what's it called, Grimjaw. But they're all going in different types of speed, so it just won't look like a shotgun blast. But yeah. And this is where, well, Grimjaw widened his eyes, and this is where Grimjaw had to dodge. This is where he uses Settle, or mostly not Settle, mostly he uses Sonido to get away from what's it called, Issei, until he kind of tries to get away. But this is where, when the kind of little Settles were about to hit the ground and notice that Grimjaw is now up in the sky, they all started also attracting kind of like going into sinking kind of missiles by trying to attack Grimjaw. Grimjaw widened his eyes and realized that Issei has the ability to do this. This is why, well, Grimjaw keeps trying to fly up in the air and dodge the attacks, which all of them are keep trying to, well, mostly chase after him. Grimjaw gets annoyed with this, and this is where, well, Grimjaw right now puts his like claws out, and this is where, well, I should also mention this is how Grimjaw's kind of form also looks like. This is how Grimjaw's kind of Hogakyu form looks like. He does have two tails, this black kind of like, yeah, you get the point. He just looks like this. But this is where, well, while Grimjaw is right now trying to dodge, he uses his black claws to right now cut through what's it called, mostly all the attacks in an instant. It's like energy-based kind of claws attack, which he managed to scratch through, or mostly claw through all these settles. And this is where, well, he started kind of rushing straight towards Issei in blinding speed. This is where, well, Issei could barely react because mostly he keeps kind of using the settles, so thinking that it would hit Grimjaw, but Grimjaw appears behind him. Now, Issei noticed this not that very fast because his energy started kind of draining quite fast, which mostly Issei hasn't really been in this form for too long. And this is where, well, Issei turns around and sees Grimjaw about to like kick at him, which Issei right now blocks it with his own kick and right now points a gun right in front of him because he still has a gun instead of an energy-based kind of sword in his left hand. His right hand has the gun. This is where, well, he points it right into Grimjaw's face, and Grimjaw says, ah, fuck. This is where, well, Issei shoots a gun, well, mostly 2 bullets into Grimjaw, and Grimjaw coughs up some blood. But this is where he uses one of his claws from his leg to actually stab into Issei's one of his legs, and then uses one of his arms to try to claw at him, which Issei tries to shoot at him to try to stop him. But this is where, well, Issei got himself kind of clawed near his chest, while both of them kind of just gets pushed back away. We'll see, Grimjaw kind of is still in his form, while Issei is actually getting out of that form. This is where, well, Issei kind of started reverting back into the normal, what's called normal resurrection. And this is where, well, Issei is kind of breathing out pretty hard, and this is where, well, Issei said, this is impossible. Damn it. I didn't think that it would take this long to fight against him. Then again, I was being too cocky. Damn it. This is where, well, Issei kind of looks at Grimjaw, and Grimjaw says, I guess you lost. Issei says, you think I lost? No, I didn't. Issei rushes at him, and this is where, well, Grimjaw thinks that Issei isn't going to be able to attack him until Issei says, mostly re-taekwondo, triple kick. This is where, well, Issei appears kind of like around Grimjaw, but Grimjaw managed to react fast enough to actually dodge the kind of like triple kick that was actually kind of like mostly after images that were around him that was about to kick his neck. But he managed to dodge and managed to punch Issei in the stomach, knocking him out, getting him out of resurrection and back into mostly a Rancor state, mostly his own Rancor state. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei falls down and of course passes out. But yeah, of course I should mention that Issei's eyes did revert back to being a kind of goldenish brown instead of a reddish color. But yeah, so of course that was the thing. But we go into now Issei kind of being in, well, the Arrancar's kind of, well, like city, but yeah. So, of course, after Issei kind of like failing, of course, to fight against Grimjaw, he is, well, we go into Issei kind of waking up. Issei is now waking up and going, oh, what the hell happened? This is where, well, Issei is so confused. This is where, well, he feels very hurt, and of course, when he tries to, like, get up, he feels like he can't get up. He tries to get up, but this is where he can't. It feels like something is on top of him. This is where, well, he then managed to kind of get his arms just to kind of lift up the blanket, but of course, well, when he lifts up the blanket, he sees two very beautiful Arankars right next to him sleeping. Of course, one is actually holding on to his like chest, while the other's doing the same, and that's why he felt something squishy when he was moving his arms up. Well, mostly one of them being his left arm. This is where, well, because the left arm wasn't too tightly squished between these two beautiful Arankars. Mostly one had reddish hair and the other one has greenish hair. This is where, well, Issei's face becomes almost entirely red. This is where, well, Issei has actually kind of was thinking right now of mostly Micah. He was only thinking of a Micah, nothing else. This is where, well, Dietrich says, whoa, two more beautiful women into your harem. Kid. That's amazing. This is where, oh, Issei says, shut up, Dietrich. Shut the hell up. Don't you dare talk. This is where, well, Dietrich says, well, I mean, even though I don't need to talk, it seems your self seems to be quite amused with the situation. What are you His face becomes almost entirely red. This is where almost see Dietrich chuckles at mostly Issei's kind of misery, but yeah, this is where, well, Issei said, how the hell do I get out of here? Wait, Sonito. This is where, well, Issei managed to use Sonito to get out of their kind of grasp. Of course, he just kind of wiggles a little bit just to kind of not teleport them with himself, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei managed to kind of, yeah. Also, you did manage to use Sonito and managed to escape. This is where, well, Issei still felt his body really fucking hurt. He fall down to the ground and is right now in pain, but didn't want to make noise so he won't wake them up. The two kind of mysterious females. This is where, well, Issei was about to open the door until the door opened, and this is where what he sees is a man with bluish hair. Well, yeah, longish bluish hair, and has green eyes. This is where, well, it's none other than Grimjaw. And Grimjaw says, oh, you're awake. So how was the two Arankars doing? Wait, where are they? This is where he noticed they're on basically Issei's bed. And this is where Grimjaw says, you didn't do anything to her. This is where she says, no. I woke up and saw them. So what the hell were they doing in my bed in the first place? This is where, well, mostly Grimjaw says, don't really know. Let me ask them then. This is where, well, mostly Grimjaw kind of goes inside. And this is where he calls out to the two females. So one was the green-haired girl was named Embro Dracana. Dracana. And of course the other one was named Rexenia Selenia. But yeah. And this is where, well, the girl with the reddish hair, and this is where both of them woke up in an instant after hearing their kind of like king's command to wake the fuck up. This is where, well, both of them do wake up, and this is where, well, they wind their eyes and realize that they were asleep. This is where, well, mostly they look up and sees a kind of somewhat amused Grimjaw. Mostly Grimjaw isn't pissed, but amused. He even looks at Issei because he was actually amused also with Issei's kind of mostly confusement. But yeah. Because, well, Grimjaw kind of just sees what's it called Issei as another Arankar, but this time being what's it called, not just any normal Arankar, but being a descendant of, well, Coyote Stark. Even though he has never really get along with Coyote Stark, he can see that Issei isn't evil like, or isn't that much like a follower similar to that of Coyote Stark, and doesn't really follow orders or any of that. He's mostly like him. Mostly he realized that Issei is similar to that of like himself, where he just mostly doesn't care about anything. But yeah. But then again, he does kind of remind him of Coyote Stark's laziness half the time, but yeah. He doesn't care until he then sees Issei's face becomes a little bit red because he noticed what's it called the two Arankar beauties don't really seems to be wearing what's it called like clothes to kind of, because they have some skin showing. They kind of look like this. So this is how they look like. There's the red hair beauty and even the emerald, mostly the green hair beauty, but yeah. When they both woke up, this is where, well, both of them were kind of still looking quite seductive. And of course, they realized that, mostly they kind of both bow down in an instant, seeing their kind of leader in a state of mostly amusement. But yeah, because Issei's face became even more red because they seem to be well, quite interesting towards him. And quite interesting to another part of himself because, he did kind of get a little bit aroused from both of them being next to him. But yeah, because he does notice that they both don't really seem to be, mostly their clothing doesn't seem to be hiding that much, in his words, because he can see some stuff that, he rather not see right now, because right now he has things to do. But yeah, but of course, we go into a time skip later, mostly about how Issei kind of did after the battle with Grimshaw. Now, Issei found out that, he wasn't that strong enough to defeat Grimshaw, but Grimshaw managed to kick his ass. But Grimshaw just told him that he just needs to train in that form so he can stay longer, and that should be more confidence in fighting to close combat, because most of Issei did show a little bit of close combat, but he relied too much on his long range, which Grimshaw should probably thought of mostly fighting him to hand-to-hand combat, because he knows mostly Coyote Stark probably even would have fought with using saddles or even using his guns. So of course he should have just fucking ran up towards Issei and fought him close range. But yeah, mostly not close range, but hand-to-hand combat. But yeah. Well, other than that, we go into mostly a time skip of 5 days later. Issei has been training in what's called Waco Mundo for a while to get stronger, mostly to kind of get stronger in his form. But yeah, and refine it, and of course last longer in that form than normal possible. But of course, two people has actually been kind of helping him with that. That being the red hair and even green hair beauty. Now, of course, they're also somewhat espadas, but they're mostly, they're espadas slash royal guard knights. But yeah, this is where, both of them are kind of just been helping out with Issei and getting really close with Issei. Now, Issei didn't really mind this after a while, because he was just getting tired and annoyed with them. So of course, we're not tired and annoyed. He was just getting tired, and the fact that he was actually falling more asleep than actually caring that much. Doesn't work well. Mostly, Issei really didn't care. He just fell asleep and became lazy like that. Well, other than that, I'm thinking of leaving it off here for part 10 because I'm getting tired, really fucking tired. Other than that, by saying yeah.